Hello friends, welcome to Light on Granite with Diana. Today I'd like you to start seated on your mat. Go ahead and rest your hands comfortably in your lap or on your knees. Straighten your spine, close your eyes, and reconnect with your breath. Take a nice deep inhale and let it go. Open your eyes. And we're going to move right into some neck rolls. Just really gently rotating that neck around in big circles. And switch and go the other direction. And gently release. Now go ahead and put your left hand on your right knee and your right hand behind you. We're going to come into a gentle seated twist. And back to center. Switch sides. And back to center. Now take your hands and put them behind you on the mat, fingertips pointing forward. And then I want you to go ahead and push into those hands. Lean back, open that chest up. And release. Come back into a seated position. And then we're going to go ahead and bend our legs, grab onto them, and roll into a ball. We're going to roll 3 times, and then we're going to come up on the 3rd time into butterfly pose. Excellent. Once we're sitting here in butterfly pose or cobbler, I want you to go ahead, hold onto your feet, elongate your spine, and flap those wings. And release. Now we're going to come forward into table pose. And from table, we're going to move into our cat-cow. So inhale, head up, arc that spine. Exhale, round the spine, navel towards your spine. Inhale, head up. Exhale, round. Inhale, head up. Exhale, round. And back to neutral. We're going to go ahead and step our right foot back and just stretch that calf out for a moment. Beautiful. Bring that right leg back in and stretch out that left leg. And bring the left leg back in, and then when you're ready, we're going to push into our toes, bend those knees, and come up into downward dog. As it's our first downward dog, go ahead and pedal those feet just to loosen up your calves a little bit more. And release. And now we're going to do a little bit of a deeper stretch. So I want you to bend your right knee nice and deep while we're still in our downward dog, and hold. And bring it back to neutral, and then we're going to do a nice deep bend with our left knee. And then straighten that left leg. We're going to walk our hands back towards our feet until we come into a forward fold at the back of our mat. Excellent. From here, we're going to have our fingertips or our palms on the ground. And we're going to bend our right knee. And then we're going to bend our left knee and straighten the right. And then we're going to do one more round of that, so go ahead, bend that right knee again. And then switch. Excellent. Put a bend in both of those knees and slowly roll to standing. Once you're in a standing position, I want you to ground into your left leg, and then we're going to bend our right leg and give it a squeeze. Great. From here, we're going to now pull our ankle up level with our knee and pull the whole unit of our bent leg closer to our torso. Keep your gaze low, engage your core to maintain your balance. Excellent. And now we're going to take that bent right leg and we're going to bring it the other direction so we can do a nice quad stretch. Excellent. And go ahead, release. And we're going to switch sides. So this time ground into your right foot. And then we're going to bend that left leg and give it a squeeze. And then we're going to lift up that ankle, cradle that leg, and pull it towards our torso. And then gently release that left leg into a quad stretch. And release. Wonderful. From here, let's interlock our hands behind our back. Inhale, look up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come back up. Release those hands. And what we're going to do next is we are going to come into standing pigeon. So we're going to use our right bent leg first, which will balance on our left. So get grounded in your left. You're going to put your right ankle just below your left knee. You can keep your hands on your hips if that's comfortable for you, or put your hands together in prayer. And then try to sit back a little as you're sitting in a chair. And breathe. And engage your core. Keep your gaze low to maintain your balance. And gently release. Go ahead, shake out those legs for a moment, and then we're going to switch sides. Grounding on your right foot, and this time that left ankle is going to come right below or right on top of that right knee. Put your hands together if you can, and bend into the pose. Keep that left foot flexed if possible. Engage your core. And gently release. Now we're going to step wide on our mat. And inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. I want you to walk your hands over towards your right foot. And hold. Inhale that right arm up into the sky if you can. And exhale down. Walk those hands over to the left and hold. And then inhale that left arm up into the air. Look up if you can. Exhale down. Walk your hands back towards the center. Plug your fingertips onto the mat. Walk your feet a little bit closer together. Put a bend in your knees. Slowly roll up to standing. And then we're going to come into a goddess squat. So have your feet pointing out. And we're going to put our arms into a goalpost position as we bend down into our squat. Hold and remain strong. Inhale, come back to standing, and then walk to the top of your mat. And I want you to have your feet a little bit more than hips distance apart. We're going to inhale, arms up, come up on our tiptoes. And then we're going to put our hands together in front of our chest, and we're going to come down into a squat on our tiptoes. Come down as deep as you feel comfortable. And inhale, come back to standing. You can plant your feet. And we're going to do that again. Inhale, arms up. Come up on your tiptoes. Then bring your hands in front of your heart and come down into a squat on your tiptoes. Beautiful. Stand back up tall, plant those feet. Now I want you to go ahead and walk those feet just a little bit wider apart. And we're going to try to come as deep into the squat as we can this time. So inhale, arms up. Put your hands together in front of your heart. Come down into your squat. No tiptoes. And see how deep you can go. Take a moment. It might take a little bit to get situated here, as this is a pretty deep squat and it's easy to lose your balance. So take your time. And once you're here, keep your gaze low, keep your core engaged. Excellent. So from here, we're going to go ahead, release our hands, roll back onto the mat. Hugging our knees, we're going to roll back up, but we're not going to let our toes touch. So we're coming into our cosmic egg. Let's hold this for a moment. Maintain our balance. Excellent. So now from here, staying in the same position, we're going to go ahead and extend our left leg out. And then our arms out, coming into a half boat. And then we're going to switch legs. So bend the left leg, right leg extends. Excellent. Now, if it's possible, try to extend both legs out. Excellent. Now go ahead and bring those feet together in front of you and come into cobbler pose or butterfly pose. We're going to hold on to those feet, Take a nice inhale, straighten our spine, hinge from our hips, and forward fold. Inhale back up, straighten both those legs out, have those feet flexed. Inhale, arms up, hinge from the hips. We're going to come into a full forward fold with both of our legs. Inhale to come up. And then we're going to come into child's pose. And from child's pose, I'd like you to push up into downward dog. And then look to the top of your mat, step forward, forward fold. Put a bend in those knees and slowly roll up to standing. Wonderful. So from here, we're going to move into our sun salutation A, our namaskara A. So go ahead, inhale, arms up, gaze up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, down. Step back into plank position. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And then look up. Step forward to the top of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, down. Inhale, arms up, gaze up, hands together in front of your heart. And let's do that again. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, down. Step back into plank. Chaturanga Dandasana. Upward facing dog. And downward facing dog. And then look up. Step forward. Forward fold, top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, down. Inhale, arms up, gaze up, hands together in front of your heart. Take a moment and find your breath. Wonderful. Now we're going to transition to a variation of sun salutation B. So this time when you inhale, arms up, I want you to come back into chair pose. And forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, down. Step back into plank. Chaturanga Dandasana. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Now we're going to step our right foot forward. Our left knee comes down. And we inhale our arms up, coming into low lunge. And then from here, we're going to go ahead and straighten out that front right leg and come into half splits. And go ahead and bend that knee, plant your hands, step back into plank, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And then look up to the top of your mat. Step forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, down. Inhale, arms up, come into chair. And then push up into standing. Excellent. We're going to do that again on the other side. Inhale, arms up, come into chair. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, down. Step back into plank position. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And we're going to switch sides. So left foot forward, right knee down. Inhale, arms up, low lunge. And then we're going to go ahead and straighten out that left leg, coming into half splits, pulling our hips back, flexing that front foot. Excellent. Bend that knee, plant those hands. Let's do our vinyasa flow, coming into plank, chaturanga, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. And then from here, I want you to step your right foot forward. And we're going to angle our left foot at a 45 degrees. Inhale, coming up into warrior one. And then open up those arms and shift your hips into warrior two. And then we're going to straighten that front leg and come forward into triangle. If you can't bring your hand all the way down to the floor, you can rest it on your thigh, on your shin. Wherever your hand is today is perfectly fine. And breathe. And then come back up. We're going to come back into warrior two. And then plant those hands. And we're going to do our vinyasa flow. So step back into plank, chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And then we're going to come into our standing series on the other side. So left foot forward, right foot at a 45 degrees. Inhale, arms up. Make sure your knee is over your ankle. And open up into warrior two. Excellent. Straighten that front leg. And we're going to hinge forward here and bring our left arm down our leg as far as it will go. And breathe. Inhale back up. Come into warrior two. And then plant those hands and let's take our flow. Plank, chaturanga, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. And then we're going to look up to the top of our mat. Step forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, down. Inhale, arms up, gaze up, hands together in front of your heart. Find your breath. Wonderful. I want you to inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. Exhale, down. Step back into plank. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. And downward facing dog. And from here, I want you to inhale your right leg up, coming into three-legged dog. Try to keep your hips square. And then we're going to go ahead and stack our hips. So we're going to bend that right leg a little bit. And then we're going to come all the way and flip over into Wild Thing. And then flip back over into Downward Dog. And we're going to take our flow. So let's come into Plank, Chaturanga, Upward Facing Dog, and Downward Facing Dog. Inhale that left leg up. Three-legged dog, stack. Keep those hips in alignment. Now you could stack those hips. And then go ahead and flip over into Wild Thing or Backward Dog, whatever phrase you want to use for it. Excellent. Flip back over and lower those knees down to the ground and come into a well-deserved child's pose. And then inhale, come back up. We've got one more pose to do before we come into Shavasana. We are going to do our fire log pose. So we're going to have our right leg on the bottom, angled at a 90 degrees, and we're going to stack our left leg on top. There might be a gap between your knees and your ankles, and don't you worry about that. Our hips are very tight very often, and unless you stretch them regularly, they'll be pretty stiff. You're still going to receive the full benefits of this pose, however close together your legs are. So staying here might be enough for you, and you can just put your hands together in prayer, or you can inhale, arms up, and forward fold. And then inhale, arms back up. You can release your arms, and we're going to switch our legs. So left leg is on the bottom, right leg is on the top. There might be a significant difference in your legs, and that's perfectly normal. And yet again, you have an option to stay here with your hands together in prayer, or you can follow me and inhale, arms up, and forward fold. And inhale back up. And let's go ahead and release our legs. Stretch out our limbs and come into Shavasana, our final resting pose for the day. And as you're resting, I want you to bring your awareness back to your breath. Notice the pace of your breath, the gentle rise and fall of your chest and your stomach as you're breathing. Notice the feel of the air on your nostrils as you breathe in and as you exhale. Slowly try to deepen your breaths, making them long and smooth. Welcome relaxation into your body. Now, friends, our body is like a musical instrument, and we need to scan it on a regular basis to make sure that everything's in tune. So while we're resting here gently on our mat, I want you to move your focus from your breath to your toes. Bring your awareness to your toes, to the tops of your feet, to the arches of your feet, and to your heels. Let them be relaxed. Bring your awareness to your ankles, to the length of your shins, and to your calves, noticing where your calves are touching the mat. And let your lower legs be relaxed. Bring your awareness to the tops of your knees, and then to the backs of your knees. Let your knees be soft. And bring your awareness to the tops of your thighs and to the backs of your thighs. Notice where your thighs are touching each other and where they're touching the mat. Let your legs be completely relaxed. And then bring your awareness to your pelvis. Notice how it feels supported by the ground beneath you. Release any tension that you're holding there. And then move from your pelvis up to your belly button. Let your belly be soft. And from your belly, bring your awareness to your ribs, to your lungs, to your collarbone. Let your chest be open and relaxed. And then bring your awareness to the tops of your shoulders. And then down your upper arms to your elbows, making sure your upper arms are completely relaxed. And then bring your awareness to your forearms, to your wrists, and to your fingers. Let your hands be heavy and relaxed. And from our hands, we're going to bring our awareness to our lower spine, to our middle spine, to our upper spine and our shoulder blades. Bring your breath into your back and let your back be completely relaxed. And then we'll move up our neck into our jaw, letting our jaw unclench and be soft, letting our tongue fall away from the roof of our mouth, letting our forehead be smooth and our eyes be heavy. Completely relax your head. And just take a moment and enjoy being completely relaxed. Now take a nice deep inhale and let it go. Wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, rock your head side to side, and when you're ready, roll onto your right side into a fetal position. And then go ahead and push up into a comfortable seated position. Let's inhale our arms up and then bring our hands together in front of our forehead, in front of our mouth, and in front of our heart. And we are going to thank ourselves. Thank ourselves for our practice today. Thank our heart for all the good that it does us. And we're going to try to have kind thoughts and speak kind words today. Thank you so much, friends, for spending this time with me. I hope you have a beautiful rest of the day and hope to see you again soon. Sending you love and light. Namaste.